My name is Erin Miller, and I'm a 6th grade English and Social Studies teacher at Lavelle Prep. So last year when we implemented the program, I was a paraprofessional assisting the teachers with the training and using the program. And this year my students have used it in the beginning. They used it for their personal narrative pieces, and then we used it for their expository writing pieces. So we used it for the how-to projects. And they started off with a graphic organizer on paper and then made the transition to Scholar, and our experience with that was extremely positive. And the kids loved every aspect of it, and it was a very smooth transition based on the training we had the year prior. So it took about 2 weeks. I see the kids 8 periods a week from start to finish. So we had one day explaining the project, one day doing the graphic organizers. We had like the hamburgers for juicy paragraphs. So we did introduction, body 1, body 2, body 3, and conclusion. That was on paper, day 2, and then I would say from day 3 to day 7 or 8, they were typing and working on it using like different tools, the thesauruses, dictionaries, using their word choice was a focus during that assignment. And then they had to put it into process. They shared it with each other. They had a day and a half to do the feedback back and forth with each other. And the great part was that I could monitor what they were doing the whole time. And then once they did that, they had the 2 days for the second draft. They completed that, they came to the final draft and submitted it to me, and I was able to print it all at once for their portfolios and actually graded the students based on the quality of their feedback as well. They loved it. They loved no more yellow paper, and it's just a much more real-world experience because students in this day don't sit down with paper and pen when they have to write a research paper in college. And as a college prep school, that's what we always used to say, in college. They didn't have to worry about losing it, which my 6th graders, it's their first year in middle school, they lose everything. And I was able to monitor the whole time. So they felt like they were working completely independently, but I told them I could see everything. The kids loved it, and we used it in the beginning-ish part of the year. So the kids didn't know each other that well yet, and it kind of took away the hesitation that they would have to grade, the kids that are more loud, or the kids they might be intimidated by, or kids they didn't like. So not knowing who they were giving feedback to really did affect the quality of the feedback that they gave. And the kids responded to peer feedback more so than if I gave it to them. I would notice things that I told them to change remained unchanged, but things that the kids told them to change were changed right away. I think it was a comfort thing. The fact that they could go on, and my 6th graders did more than any of the upperclassmen that I saw, but they would put up like, just got back from dance, so tired as their status. And I think that kind of just made them comfortable enough to log on at home during that time, that when they had to do it in school, it kind of bridged that connection, so it wasn't just a school thing, it was kind of a part of their life. I would say that the deadline, having specific dates, in the beginning, I was kind of closed off to it because I'm like, you're always going to have the kid that gets the flu and is out for 4 days, and is he going to hold up the time? But finding out ways to work around that and keeping the kids on the deadlines with their notifications was huge, because the 6th grade year is all about setting up routines and expectations. So it was very clear for them when they logged on to see if they were past due. It was kind of the little kick that they needed to get back into the routine. So I would say use it in the beginning of the year and have them used to these deadlines, and then it becomes second nature. And I think that was important. It's very easy to prove that you're teaching and analyzing student work based on the Common Core standards. So it keeps you aligned and it keeps the students aligned, and there's no gray area of where you're getting your grades from. And it also serves as tracking how the students are meeting the standards, because they have to meet the standards by the end of the year. So you can look at the rubrics and see what they scored and determine your own mastery criteria.